For Black History Month, I'm talking about the work of one Black biblical scholar or theologian every day, and today is Kelly Brown Douglas's book, Sexuality in the Black Church, a Womanist Perspective. Douglas's book combines history, philosophy, and cultural criticism to argue that stereotypes about Black sexuality, which continue to persist even to this day, ultimately originate in Southern plantation culture and are a product of white fascinations and white anxieties about Black bodies. Stereotypes about the physical size and rapaciousness of Black men, and stereotypes about the sexual wantonness and exoticness of Black women were really just manufactured by white enslavers in order to justify the inhuman labor and sexual assault that they subjected their slaves to, and to cover for their anxieties about being physically overthrown and about their white wives desiring the Black bodies of their male slaves. Douglas points out that many of these stereotypes continue to persist even to this day because white culture has figured out ways to commodify these stereotypes and then repackage them as part of pop culture. And then Black communities have internalized these images as these images flood the media that they consume. Douglas is especially critical of the way that many Black communities of faith have internalized homophobia and biblical justifications for it. And Douglas mourns our current situation in which many white biblical scholars and theologians are producing works that demonstrate that the Bible and Christian theology aren't inherently homophobic, but nevertheless Black communities have learned to distrust white biblical scholars and theologians because of the history of abuse between these communities, which unfortunately has cut them off from access to the kinds of arguments that would allow them to rethink the relationship between Bible and homophobia. The second half of the book turns to constructive theology, where Douglas creates a theology of Black sexuality based on the fundamental goodness of our embodied condition, based on our all having been made in the image of God, based on the themes of mutuality, reciprocity, and the service-orientated love that Jesus demonstrates in the New Testament. There simply aren't that many books that attempt to craft a progressive theology of human sexuality for a specific community, and Douglas's book ends with some practical advice about how to begin conversations at the church level around this topic.